Happy Friday. We made another week. What's that? The sun will rise and set whether you decide to take part or not. I just butchered that quote. But yeah, that was one that stuck with me a while ago. You don't have to take part, but we get to in this crazy life. I had one of the groups here, one of the content creator groups in Hong Kong, starting to tick off a conversation yesterday, and a lot of the ladies in there were just dumping in on how difficult the content is and how people don't realize how much goes into the back end of it. And I kind of had to add my 2 cents. One of the ladies afterwards sent that gif from Clueless saying, "God, so harsh, Ty." But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was stuck in that for so long. I guess the complaining, and it's not even necessarily that they were complaining. I don't know if it's the trying to seek validation for the amount of effort and work that gets put into it, and getting stuck in these little loops of needing to put so much effort into certain pieces. I'm not saying that this is zero effort. It's not, but I definitely know that I, for a very long time, made a mountain out of a molehill when it came to content, and especially nowadays when the speed has picked up and the volume side is picked up. Like, if it takes you a week to create one carousel, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. And allowing it to take that long also is part of it. Like, yeah, I mean, I remember when I let it take me that long. Look, sometimes I'll let it take me, an hour maybe to make a carousel if I have a really nice idea and I'm playing with AI backgrounds and I'm wanting to make it all beautiful. But B-roll, text, and post, and like this, I found this content format for me, which is zero editing, which it's not everybody's cup of tea, but finding your versions of it and also reminding yourself that this is the job. Like, this is the job. If you want to build an income online, you want to create content online, you need to sit your butt down and create. And you need to create without expecting a one post, one client walk-in ROI. I still remember when we were running the agency here and building that with my business partner, and the clients are sitting there, and the impatience of spending on marketing with expecting things to just come in the door. And it's like, if that, again, I've talked about it before, but I don't know why people feel like they have to spend the least amount of time and effort on marketing when that's the gateway for bringing in their clients. And I think actually the effort becomes a lot more effortful when you actually haven't taken the time to just sit, again, zoom out, see what clients you want to attract, and figure out how to talk specifically to them, at least to start. I know when it comes to building online, like, it is a lot. The information's a lot. There's so many things out there, but you're never going to get better. You're never going to get quicker. You're never going to hone your voice or hone your message if you don't start testing and iterating and getting it out and going through that uncomfortableness of posting and not hearing anything and trying again and finding different ways to talk about what you do until you find the ones that stick. And I think the ladies were going off a little bit about the talking head videos, and some people are like, oh, and it's just not what I want to do. And it's like, that's fine. You don't have to. Nobody is forcing you to dance on camera. Nobody is forcing you to do a hostage talking video, I like to call them. One of my mentors talked like that. He's like, no, I don't do talking head videos because I look like I was a hostage. And he did. It is real, he did. But however many years down the line now, and he's making sure that he's doing his YouTube videos explaining everything and having that long form thing. So even if he's feeling a little bit, autistic with his words, autistic with the reels and the short form ones, feeling very tense and very robotic and very not authentic, he's found his flow on the YouTube side explaining what he does, because his webinars are top notch. Like, he can produce a webinar, he can sit in front of his clients and present the work. He knows the work. And so if there's the disconnect between knowing your shit and then having just this I guess, fear coming online, or it's still having that awkwardness. One, it's up to you whether you want to work through that. I definitely think it is a skill like no other. And today, any business owner that is able to get on camera with minimal editing and explain in clarity what it is they do, who they serve, and who like their ideal client is, like that's gold. And what that does for your own confidence, your own mindset, and your own frequencies of then putting out what it is you're looking for and reinforcing the fact that this is who you work with, these are the people that you enjoy. If other people come in on the side as anomalies, great, but they don't have to. And you can focus then on making sure that you're placing yourselves in these right positions. I think this as well. People sit there and go, okay, well, just because I've been using Instagram personally, I'm going to do it for my business, and now my business needs an Instagram. Does your business need an Instagram? Would it be better posting on LinkedIn? Is there an audience on LinkedIn that has money? More so than an audience on Instagram? Thinking, oh God, the neighborhood dogs are walking past. So yeah, I mean, it's nobody else's job to spread your message. And if you don't want to do it, find somebody passionate that matches your energy, that can translate your voice into your online stuff. There are so many incredible content creators and content agencies, and they're only getting more and more and more. So finding one that's not crazy out of your budget is not, it's not out of this world. Like, team up with somebody. Find somebody, even if you can find a student, find an art student, find a design student that wants to get into this stuff. These kids these days know more about these platforms and the native, abilities and the visuals and all of that than a lot of people, because they've grown up on these platforms. So they know the ins and outs natively. Hey Lou. Oi, come say hi. I know, come say hi. Come. I know. This is Lincoln. What did you? You're an old grumpy man, huh? Mwah. Did you protect the neighborhood? Yes? Did you protect the neighborhood? Good, okay. He always shakes off after I've touched him. It's so funny. I was like, he's got to shake off the human. Every time. Give him a cuddle, touch him, scratches. Okay, you may go. Come. He likes sitting down here, wait for the tail. There's a tail. He's sitting in the corner down there by my feet so he can look out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting to my wits' end again with some of these groups. Maybe I need to just get out of some of these groups. It's some of the same groups that, sit there going, I want tailored luxury stuff at affordable prices. And I'm like, those words don't fit in the same sentence. It's that zero tolerance for your own excuses and your own shit. If your content and your marketing is taking you so long, why is it taking you so long? Why is it taking you that long? And I understand, again, at the beginning, sometimes, yes, certain skills, if you want a certain aesthetic, you've got to learn how it is. You've got to learn Canva. You've got to learn the tools. And gosh, just when you think you're going to do something quick, 3 other subtasks and 5 other toggles drop down with different things you need to learn before you even get to start to the next thing to then even... I get it. I do. I really do. But if every single day it's a slog to post or to do something, then you need to stop and find another strategy, because that's sitting in it going, oh, this is heavy, oh, I have to, like, that energy that you bring to it is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. If the one thing that's like trying to be light and exciting and bringing people into your company is the heaviest thing that's becoming this burden, you can see where it might be the wrong tact. Like, yeah, I don't know. And you don't get to complain about not posting and then not having business if you want to be online. That's just having a tantrum. I think it's because again, all the really shitty advice I'm realizing now is just the loudest. There's just so much of it, and because of what's happened with AI, it has now reached a peak volume. So I challenge you, if you are struggling with a bit of this at this time, and especially with what you're seeing online, go do a cull of your newsfeed. Go do a mass unfollowing. Go go sort out your backgrounds, go sort out what you're actually paying attention to. Because I remember even myself, you get down these rabbit holes of wanting to learn how to do this thing. And then you get stuck in some of these rabbit holes of everybody telling you what the next thing is and the new tactic and the new opinion. And so you always feel like you're almost like, again, that one step behind when you're not. Because out of that bubble, there are a whole bunch of people that are not even looking at this bubble or not even attempting to do this type of stuff. So you're not behind, but it makes you very quickly feel like you're in this echo chamber of why should I bother when so many people are doing it, especially when you then start to find people who are similar to how you want to post. There's this weird kind of, gosh, what was it? Somebody was saying yesterday that one of their coaching programs was teaching them how to ethically steal things that were working for other people. And it's like, ugh. Like, yes, the scamper technique is one thing, but to have that as your entire fucking strategy is not a strategy. And I think this is where people are now starting to realize, or at least where I'm starting to realize, like with the business stuff, like you get to build your own story. You get to build your own personality. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's. And it's how quickly can you take off all those stupid filters in front of your face and just talk on camera like you would talk to your clients with that same sort of, I guess, confidence and gumption, and without scaring other people off, because it will scare some people off and that's good, but I have no doubt it will really attract the right people that are looking for you. And I think so many more of the clients that I see, or the people that I see out there that are trying to build their businesses, they have quite sophisticated businesses. And again, the current advice is to teach this shit to dummies. Your audience doesn't need to know how to do accounting. They need to know you know how to do it. They need to know that you know how to spot things that they wouldn't even know to ask, and that you'll bring it up. You know what I mean? Like, get a layer deeper. I love Becca Pike called this microdosing. I love her for that. She's just, again, fangirl moment. She's just, yeah. Anyway, I still didn't finish that piece, so I won't show it to you today. Give me the weekend. I'll show it to you Monday. That's going to be my little commitment to myself and to you guys. I ended up doing a really good day of client work yesterday, though, so I was excited. And at the end of the computer time, my eyes were a bit funny when I went to try and test some of the new acrylic pens that I've got. I was just sort of seeing a little bit double, and I don't want to start adding things to that piece if I'm tired and not focusing, so I don't want to ruin it. Bit by bit. I'd rather take my sweet ass time and get it done how I want to get it done than rush it and ruin it. So yeah, I'll show you guys on Monday. I think that'll be fun. I really want to send that off next week. She's got her business conference next week. Ideally, I wanted that to have been there before, but c'est la vie. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I know, I say I don't know. I know I spent a lot of time in the worry, in the heaviness, in the blah, and it's like, when you're in it, it all feels real. And it's easy to look at those people that are giving you advice from the other side when you do find the ones that are, living more in alignment with what it is you're trying to chase. Again, be very, 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 very careful about who you're following and who you're taking advice from, please. Make sure they've actually done the thing that you want to do, and for long enough to have actually had some sort of track record. Like, not going to say that you can't get what you need from a shitty ebook or this or whatever, but there are so many shitty coaches out there that are literally just regurgitating templates from previous coaches and have never had the actual experience with people over the long term in building these things, in other than just repeating what it is you did to do your little pool of, it's like a, what was it? I was going to say it's like the multi-level marketing of coaching gone wrong. Anyway, but again, every industry has these things, and it's on you to discern for yourself. People spend a lot of money to make these mistakes. Sometimes those mistakes have to be made. Sometimes you have to bet on yourself and figure out that it's the wrong person and realize that it's the wrong person, and you still have to bet on yourself again. So you get up and you go again. Like, I just, it was that, I can't remember exactly when it clicked. I think it was when I was looking into the British Stunt Registry while I was still injured, trying to look at that as some sort of goal for the future that I could take 6 to 8 years to work towards. And it was enough variation within it for me to feel like I could pursue one thing while pursuing many things on the road to that. Um, and now I realize that's what a personal brand is, because you get to build your own little side quests and things, in between, which is really fun. Like this, I feel like I side quested very hard on building this, and this is now going to be a nice little, yeah, stable in my life. I'm actually really enjoying it, and I want to see how this series develops over the next year, couple of years, as my almost like podcast version of what it is I do and how I can help. And but you've got to get started. A lot of my design is on reacting to my audience. Like, I'm very good when people come to me, they present their situation, and I feel like I can zoom out, have that bird's eye view, see where they want to go, see where they are now, ask the right questions to see how quickly we might be able to, like what that timeline might look like, but definitely get to what your MVP looks like, your minimum viable product, or your first next offer, or the first iteration of what that offer could look like down the road as a big one. Like, we break it down. And what's crazy is that I'm actually realizing now that one of the most lucrative breakdowns is webinar one-on-one sale. Repeat. That's it. Pick a topic, create a webinar, free or paid. If you've never run them before, make it free. Your only job is to not die, invite people, run the webinar, send the replay, make the offer, do it while you're scared, realize that you'll survive, get excited, get that feedback in the room, because it really does. Like, the second you put yourself into those positions where you've just picked a date, done it scared, figured it out, you realize it's not the end of the world. And as soon as you get in front of people, you're like, I know what I want to do. I know how I could have made that better. And that's that difference between, as well, training in silence and then not testing it on the battleground. Because you can train and think that you're prepared, and then sit yourself in a room of 5 people and the tech goes wrong, or someone's talking over you, or somebody interrupts, and suddenly you crumble like, whatever. I was hoping to finish that. Crumble like a... Why do I just think like a good apple pie? Clearly, my brains is on food. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying I don't know, because clearly I know a few things, because I've got myself to this point. I was going through my videos yesterday. I've got some old videos. November 2024, I started doing some version of what I was hoping this would turn into. 2024, November. And I've got, I'll have to put the clip up at some point, but it's just got me sitting down going, hi, and starting to talk about the topic, and I just go, oh, why is this so hard? Jakey wakey, and I start pointing out my friend, my creative friend, who's like just we've been pushing each other for the last 2 years, and like dissecting all of our own limiting beliefs, and we've both been on a very similar journey in terms of our own doubts with our own creativity, and our own doubts with our own ability to turn this into a job and into an income, and our own stupid minds that run around in terms of I can do it, I can't do it, I can do it, I can't do it, and like seeing where we each cut ourselves off before we even get to the point where we can find success in anything, and then picking it up again and going again. Like, that's why I really say it's so important to find friends along the way, and creators that are on your same level, that are also testing this stuff. Like, it's hard. It's a lot on your identity. There's a lot of inner work that has to be done to put yourself out on here, and to be vulnerable, and to be vulnerable in a way that you don't feel like it's going to completely kibosh you as well. Like, you don't have to be wearing your heart on your sleeve, and hoping that people understand. And I don't know, I definitely feel like I've jolted out of whatever that mindset of the victim. You know what? Again, it was all about me. And it's not about me. It's not actually about me. And I think that's the weirdest thing with all this personal brand stuff, is that it's not actually about you. It's about what you can do for your clients, and how you make others feel, and how you help, and how you create, and how you build then the own space into your life that you can then enjoy the other side of it as well, and practice what you preach and walk your talk. Like, it's just the pure ability to train yourself. it is true. Building a personal brand is self-development in disguise. You will not learn anything in a book that you can't learn by going through this process of having ideas, creating an offer, packaging up and inviting people to it. Oh my goodness. Like that's it. This is trial through fire. And if it takes you a couple of years, it takes you a couple of years. Like it's taken me a good 4 years to be able to sit here and start doing this comfortably, and even to be able to jump into some of those groups and say those things and then be okay with whatever people think on the way back. Like I'm also, I was very much a people pleaser, and that it's that differentiation. There's nice and then there's kind. And it is not nice sometimes to not say the thing that needs to be said, especially when you're then the one having to deal with then getting irritated about not saying it. And you don't need to be nasty about it, but like I've had to be pulled up on my shit. I've had to pull myself up on my shit. I've paid for coaches to pull me up on my shit, and that's honestly the biggest thing, right? Like if you've been saying for a long time you want to be somewhere and you're not even anywhere closer than where you were, then the actions that you are doing are not adding up. So you really have to take a look at your actions, because thinking about it and planning about it, I know how it feels like you're doing it. I couldn't believe the first time I did one, because I was in Becca's thing for a year, right? She has annual memberships. I remember the first time we did one of the sprints, and that was sort of to figure out where you were hiding in the back end or on the front end. And it was a sales challenge, so like a daily sales challenge. You had to put a daily call to action to something that you are selling. And holy crap, I had been busy being busy, and then going, oh, why does nobody want to buy my stuff? Why does nobody want to do my things? And it's like, you didn't tell them. You didn't tell them. And maybe you told them once in a half-assed kind of way with a, oh, maybe you would like to, maybe you wouldn't like to, but I don't know. Instead of saying, guys, this is what I'm doing. This is fucking amazing. This is who it's for. If you are into this, you need to be in the room. Do you see that? Oh, 22222. Sorry, 2222 on the clock. Like, do you see that difference in energy? Like, I'm doing it anyway. Guys, this is what I'm doing. This is who it's for. If it's not for you, no worries. If it is, join. It's going to be fun. Run the thing. Create the upsell. Do it. And then do it again. Like, I still remember that first webinar that I did. And realizing that even realizing that I hadn't figured out how I enjoyed teaching and how I enjoyed running a class. Like that took me all of last year to figure out. I kept trying. I was like, okay, do it, presentation. I was like, oh, the presentation threw me off because I was struggling to read the slides. Okay, so next time, bullet points. And eventually I got it to the point where I enjoy having like one or two visuals if I need as like a visual aid, and then just bullet points and just talking. Or having my whiteboard actually, so that I can look like a crazy person in that conspiracy theory gif and just go, you see, all in dots connect, and then use the whiteboard as the visual aid. I actually enjoyed running Telegram group channels, that sort of async thing where you can send a voice note, send the stuff, the people can have the day to do it, and then you've got a couple of days for them to implement, and then you've got another day later where you actually do the workshop or a Q&A. Like there are so many different ways to actually impart wisdom onto people, but some sort of half an hour, 45-minute, yeah, it doesn't even have to be a big presentation. That's what's crazy. It only needs to be half an hour, and it's kind of just the introduction of it, how you solve it, how you've solved it for other clients, what your thinking is on it, and then open Q&A so that the people that are actually in the room get the nuance of their situation from you. Because that's when you really show your true colors, right? When you can answer other people's questions. And if you're any good at what you do, you can do that. So go test. Go do that. Yeah. Little bit heated. I don't know. Not even really. But hey, it is what it is. I just think this content game, there's a lot more fun to be had when you actually stop thinking of how heavy just the creation of the content is, and how much the content plays a piece in this role of building your portfolio of your message, spreading your message, spreading your passion, spreading your philosophy, spreading your values, and why you do what you do and why you work with the people that you work with, and getting excited about that. and having these feelers and having these signals going out so that people can invite people, and you just don't know who you're going to reach online, and you don't know who's watching, because I shit you not, the people that are ready to pay are not the ones that are always liking. They're not even commenting. You might not even know that they are there, but they're watching. And that consistency of you showing up and mastering your craft and enjoying it and teaching people about what you do and spreading the good word is what people are watching. And you do that for long enough, and it's that consistency that then adds up. And as you get better at harnessing that message and seeing what comes through on the back end and what posts actually trigger what person to then inquire, then follow that thread. Do a few more on that. Like, the ideas are there. If you're struggling for ideas, it's because you are suffocating your own life and you are getting too busy stuck in the business. Make sure you're still having time to go outside. And if you aren't having the ability to do and both, it's not sustainable. The business is not sustainable with you sinking. Not if you don't already have a light at the end of the tunnel, and not if you don't have a coach that can point you to the light at the end of the tunnel if you don't already know one. It's too heavy. It's too much. And on that note, I've just realized the time. I'm going to have to go into town. I got 2 clients a day. Bless, one's called in sick, so we swapped that to tomorrow. 1 more assessment, so it looks like I might have another client on the roster starting next week. Happy Friday, guys. Another week down. I'll see you Monday.